Alright guys, so we're going to be making some donuts. I'll walk you guys through what you're going to need. Please make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and let me know what you'd like to see me make next. So here we have our yeast, right here. Then we have our flax egg. Our yeast has already started blooming. As you can see, it has that nice bubble. It is all frothy. We have our sugar and our salt right here. You're going to need vegan butter, melted. You're going to need your flax egg, which is basically just flax, ground flax, and water. You're going to need your flour, and you're also going to need a plant-based milk. The full recipe will be listed down below. This is for half the amount of donuts, and I'll also list the full recipe. So let's get into mixing this all up. So first things first is we're going to combine all the dry ingredients inside of a bowl. So our flour, boom, our salt and sugar. Again, use bone-charred free sugar. And then I'm just going to whisk that together until it's well combined. And I'm actually going to switch this bowl out, so we're going to put this inside of a separate bowl, and then we'll be back to combine all of the wet. Our dry is all incorporated. We're going to incorporate all of our wet. So we're going to start off with our yeast, making sure to get all of that in there. And I'm just going to get my rubber spatula and scrape it because we need all of that. This is what's going to bloom it and make it look nice and yummy. We're going to add in our flax egg. Making sure to scrape that as well. Get all of that flax egg out of there. Next, we're going to put in our butter. And then last but not least, we're going to add in our milk. And I'm not going to do all of it because I don't know if I'm going to need all of it, but no, let's do it all. Let's do it all. And then we're just gonna mix it together. Spooning at a time using my cup. So just one I'm gonna add in half. And then we're just gonna mix it. Again, you can use this, you can use your stand mixer. I'm not using mine right now, but you can if you guys in a little bit closer. So I'm just going to add in the last of the flour. And then we're just going to mix this. At this point you can use your hand. I'm just going to stir it until it's well combined, you know. Alright, I'm going to use my hands now. So, just kind of fold it in. Making sure to get that sticky dough together. And we're going to knead it for a couple minutes. You will have to roll this, not roll it, but put it on the surface and kind of get some kneading in. Because again, it is yeast, you want to work the dough a little bit. So we're just going to grab a little bit of bench flour. And we're going to knead it. Alright, so let's put some flour down. And we're just going to give it some love. This dough is a little sticky still, so I'm going to add a little bit more flour to it. Alright, boom. You're just gonna need it for a couple of minutes, and I'll be back in 1 minute, and then we'll proceed. The little tool I love having is this. It's a scraper. So if your dough starts to get stuck while you're doing this, and you want to scrape it off, I usually just do that. It helps. Just gonna keep going, and then we're gonna let it rest for about 30 to 45 minutes and double in size, because it does have yeast in it, so you want to let it rest and develop in the dough. And you also want to let the dough rest because you've been kneading it for so long. If you dough hook, you can just use that, but if you don't, just do the same thing I'm doing. It's not hard. It's gonna taste amazing at the end. This flour always makes me look super ashy. And it sticks, so we're gonna add a little bit of flour to the top. And then I'm gonna let it rest in a bowl. In this bowl with a little bit of oil for 30 to 45 minutes. I said we're just gonna put it in a bowl and you're gonna cover it, and in 30 to 45 minutes it will double in size. So after about 30 to 45 minutes, your dough should have doubled in size like so. And then you're gonna need something to cut your dough out with. So you can use a cup, you can use rings from your mason jar, an old top, or I'm going to be using some cookie cutters, but use whatever you have at home. Don't worry about it being exactly what I'm using. So next we're just going to punch it, get some of that air out. We're going to take the dough out of the bowl, and we're going to put it on a surface. We're going to add flour, of course, because you know there's always a floured surface. I'm going to bring you guys down a little bit. Alright, so just gonna roll it out, pat it out first, and you know, make it as thick as you want. You can use a rolling pin to roll it out. I'm not going to because I want my donuts to be pretty thick, so I'm just gonna pat it out, and I'm gonna go in with my biggest ring first, and we're just gonna go like that. And I'm gonna start in the corner because you know you want to make sure you get all your donuts. So we're just going to cut out that. Now with these you can make jelly filled donuts, and if you guys would like to see me make those, I've made them before, comment down below. And then I'm going to go back in with the smaller one. That's too small. I'm going to use this little cap. That's too big, I meant. And you kind of want to get that. Keep these little holes. Those are donut holes. Magic. That's how they make them. And what you can do is you can re-roll all this dough and make more donuts. Roll it all back together. You can let it rest for a couple of minutes before you roll it out. But yeah, so this is how we're going to make our donuts. Next, I'm going to let these sit for a couple minutes, and I'm going to grab my air fryer. So after a couple minutes, we're just going to brush our donuts with a little bit of oil. I'm going to be using my brush with a little bit of avocado oil, or you can just use a piece of paper towel or your finger. Use what you got. I'm a big advocate for using what you got. And I have my air fryer over here. I'll show you guys what it looks like in just a second once I'm done brushing. Just a little bit. You don't want them to be coated in it. You just want to brush it. This is going to give it a nice golden setup. You can also brush it with butter, but I prefer oil. So over here I have my air fryer. And this is the basket. I'm literally just going to place the donuts directly in the basket. So yeah, you're just going to place them right in the basket. I'm going to fry one, and I'm going to air fry the other ones. I'm also going to place the little donut holes in there so we can see a comparison. So you're just gonna put it in your air fryer, set your air fryer. Alright, so you're just gonna turn it on, you're gonna set it to 350. I'm gonna stir it at 10 minutes and then add 5 if I need to. And then you're just gonna let it go. For those that don't have, air fryer, you can fry these and they come out great. So this is almost done. And that's what it looks like. We're just gonna dry it. Okay, so our donuts are basically done air frying and frying. So this is our fried donut. This is our air fried donut. I think I said 10 minutes. You're only supposed to air fry these for 5 or less. Just watch out for them. 5 minutes seem to work best for me. I haven't made these in a long time. So yeah, this is what the donut hole looks like fried. This looks like air fried. They're both golden-y colors. Obviously, the oil one has more of a shine to it. Whatever. So we're gonna push that over. And we're gonna make our icing. So your icing is basically gonna consist of powdered sugar, some butter, and vanilla extract. So I'm gonna put the measurements for this down below as I always do. And I'm gonna whisk it actually. So we're gonna whisk the butter. And we're gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla extract to this to give it that vanilla-y flavor. Whatever flavor you want it to have, add it. And then we're gonna add in some water. You can add plant-based milk if you want to. I'm gonna do water. Just a little bit at a time to adjust the thickness. I think that is perfect actually. Yeah, so as thick as you like it. Add more water if you want it thicker. Add more icing if you want it. Add more water if you want it thinner. Add more icing if you want it thicker. So this is basically the consistency. It's very runny. I'm gonna add a little bit more powdered sugar to mine because I like it thick. Okay, so I'm just gonna whisk this in. That is so much better. It's nice and thick. Boom. And all we're gonna do is we're going to actually dip our donuts in these. So I'm gonna show you one way to do it, and you can also flavor this. You can flavor it and make chocolate. So just add a teaspoon or a teaspoon of cacao powder. And you can also make turmeric, which is my favorite one. So we're gonna do turmeric. So I'm just gonna take a donut. Bring you guys in a little closer. So yeah, I'm going to take a donut. You're going to drop it in there. You're going to twist it. You're going to lift and you're going to flip it over. And you're just going to put it on the rack. And that's the glazed donut. If you want to glaze it, you can do it on both sides. I'm not doing all that, it's too much. At this point you can add icing on top. I'm going to add some of this pink icing I have just to make it look cute. So boom, we got that one out of the way. Not out of the way, you know what I mean. Then we're going to move on. I'm going to do a turmeric one. I love turmeric icing, it's so good. It sounds kind of weird, but it is literally so good. So let me grab some turmeric powder. I also love matcha, so I'm going to do matcha as well. But do whatever you like. If you'd like to see some icing recipes, let me know. But so for turmeric, I'm just going to add some turmeric. And then the last one, I'm probably just going to do a black one because I love charcoal. Charcoal is so good for you. So yeah, you just add enough to change the color. And this was my golden goddess, and I top it with walnuts or pumpkin seeds. So yeah, you're just gonna mix it. And you have this goldeny beautifulness. You can add more if you want it to be more gold. I think this is perfect. And clean this off because turmeric does stain. And then we're just gonna dip our donut. Again, same thing. Swirl it. I'm gonna double dip because I want it all over. And then we're gonna pull it up and put it on the counter. I'm gonna dip some of these. And honestly, the color, the flavor is your choice. Do whatever you want. I'm gonna put some seeds on top of this one. Like, look at how pretty that is. Alright, so that's so pretty, look at that. So for the last one, I'm just gonna add charcoal. It's edible charcoal, it's active charcoal. So we're just gonna put a little bit in at a time. And then I'm gonna stir it. So boom, we got the black charcoal in there. And we're just gonna stir this. And it should turn it black. I mean, that's what I'm hoping. If not, it's gonna turn it this, it looks galaxy. It looks pretty cool. That looks so pretty. But I want a black, so I'm gonna add more. I actually like this color though, it's like a green. Alright, I'm glad. Alright. I got some charcoal on my that looks so cool though. Look at how pretty that looks now. My counter is a mess because it's dripping, but that's alright. I'm gonna clean it up anyways. So yeah, now we have black icing, which is a thing, guys. It exists if you make it yourself. So we're just gonna dip. We are all done. We have our classic glazed donut with some stripes. We have a turmeric with a splash of charcoal. We have a charcoal covered in beauty. You know, I call black is beautiful, made with love. So these are all the donuts I made. Please comment down below and let me know what you'd like to see me make next, and enjoy. Please hashtag Studio Vegan if you decide to make any of these recipes.